We're joined now by Tom Greenwood, CEO of Helios Towers, who build telecom towers across the continent. Welcome, Tom. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks very much
First
for having
time
me.
at GABI.
First time at GABI and really excited. Fantastic conference so far, and I'm really excited about hearing more about it over the next couple of days.
Yeah, so why were you so keen to be involved and join the conversation?
So Helios Towers, what we do is telecommunications infrastructure, and we operate across Africa and Middle East, and within Africa we're in 8 markets. And we focus on supporting the proliferation of connectivity to millions of people. Today our towers cover around 160 million people across 8 markets in Africa, and that number is growing by the day.
What are the key markets that you're in?
So Tanzania, DRC, Senegal, Ghana, South Africa, Malawi, Madagascar and Congo Brazzaville are the markets in Africa where we operate today.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And, so how did you get started in this? I mean, what was the first country that you went into Africa?
Yeah, so the business started in 2010. In fact, we celebrated our 15th anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Ghana was the first market that we started operations in. And we actually pioneered the tower sharing model in the African continent. And what we do, our core business model is to enable the sharing of telecoms infrastructure. So rather than just having a large tower with one mobile operator on it, we aim to support putting 2, 3 or 4 on it.
So all the Airtels and the
exactly,
Glos and all of that
yeah,
sharing one
exactly.
tower.
Sharing one tower,
Okay.
which drives a huge amount of efficiency in terms of cost, drives a huge amount of increase in quality of service. And our big focus is to provide global quality service around power uptime and other passive infrastructure services across our markets. And that's very much what we do today. And we focus on training and upskilling local teams across our markets. 99% of all of our colleagues are from the markets in which we operate. We invest a huge amount in our people, a huge amount in training and upskilling, and provide the technology in order to provide those global levels of service.
Okay, and so that technology that you provide, will that provide 5G services, or is that already present in some of the markets that you're in?
Yeah, so we support all forms of technology in terms of the mobile connectivity.
Yeah.
And we also focus on how can we create the most efficient and reliable tower and power. And power is one of our key offerings in terms of services to our customers. And across our markets, not all of our towers are connected to the grid. And even when they are, the grid's not working 24 hours a day a lot of the time. So we need to come up with ways of keeping that power on 24/7. Of course, if the power's down, then the networks are not working and people cannot communicate.
So that's why I'm always having network outage in Lagos.
Well, it's power is the key to keep the networks up.
So does that involve renewables?
Absolutely,
solar panels,
yeah,
and things
absolutely.
like that?
So we look at solar technology, hybrid battery technology. We connect to the grid where possible. We're involved in the Mission 300 initiative that the World Bank and African Development Bank has started earlier this year, and that aims to connect 300 million people in Africa to the grid over the next 5 years. And we use a lot of grid, and in our view, the proliferation of telecom networks and the proliferation of grid networks are actually symbiotic.
Right.
Because if you put a telecom tower in a new location, you can therefore have an immediate customer to the grid if the grid extends there, and then the grid company can go and on-sell that to other people, communities, businesses in the local vicinity. But the telecom tower can be the first customer and therefore the first revenue stream of the grid. So we do a lot of work in Tanzania with TANESCO, the national grid provider, and over the past 4 years, we've connected over 800 telecom towers to the grid in Tanzania through our work and collaboration with TANESCO. And that brings about a lot of benefit for TANESCO because they can move out into new locations, they get a customer from day one, and they can build that out for the local communities. to provide everyone in those vicinities with power. So we're looking to replicate that kind of collaboration in other markets that we operate in. And I think it's a real focus for us and the industry over the next 5 years.
Okay, so what is the future of connectivity in Africa and the other regions that you work in?
So Africa is really on the cusp of a data boom. Now today, 75% of the population in Africa is not connected to mobile internet. But over the next 5 years, data consumption is going to grow by 5 times. So it's 5 times the amount of data being consumed, 5 times the amount of data going through the networks. So there's both a huge opportunity for connecting millions more people to the internet, connecting people to the world, and all the benefits that brings from health, education, trade, social media, etc., artificial intelligence. But also a huge challenge as to how is that done both efficiently and reliably. And so it's through the effective rollout of new infrastructure in the most efficient way, the most efficient power systems, enabling the sharing of the infrastructure that I mentioned, because that reduces the cost for everyone. And that's what we do at Helios Towers. And the other element of that is the cost of handsets.
Right.
So the cost of handsets can be a big blocker for people using data.
Yeah.
Right. Now, in the past, recent sort of year or two, we've seen the price point of a 4G enabled handset get to the $30 mark or below. 3-4 years ago, that was $100. So that's actually enabling now a lot more people to access it. Now, hopefully that will come down further and further. And of course, 5G is coming. So we need 5G handsets to be coming down to that level of price as well.
Okay, so some of these handsets though are geofenced to particular regions, and that prevents people being able to travel and use their handsets. I mean, why is that?
So the handsets typically can be used, in the country that they're sold, but they can also be used for international roaming when people travel. That will be down to the pricing plan and the agreements with
But I mean, some of the handsets themselves physically are locked to particular countries and regions. I mean, have you come across that?
Yeah, I mean that may be specific for certain package deals or whatnot that are being offered. But ultimately, the technology can be used in different regions, different countries. So that helps with people traveling and stuff like that.